Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Chris is off tonight. A Columbia County police officer taking legal action against the district attorney, claiming her actions are hindering his ability to do his job and impacting public safety. Officer Justin Malueg claims that DA Brenda Yaskal is refusing to prosecute cases that he's involved in. Malueg was working full-time with the Poynette Police Department and resigned in early January. He's asking a judge to compel the DA to fairly review his cases, publicly affirm his credibility. A court date, that is set for March. Samantha Cavalli has been following this story closely. She sat down with the officer in a First Alert update.
It's a complex legal battle Officer Justin Malueg never expected to be caught up in, suing Columbia County District Attorney Brenda Yaskal.
How do I effectively do my job? Because if I can't have my cases prosecuted, how can I be a cop?
This situation began in Waupaca County, where Malueg served as a sheriff's deputy. There, he was twice flagged with a Brady, a legal term indicating information that could question an officer's credibility in court. Malueg claims one of these findings stems from a misunderstanding about a phone call.
I wanted to deny that claim of undermining a supervisor so bad. And of course, then comes to find out I did make a phone call.
Yeah.
So he's this big liar, he can't be trusted. And this is literally what this is what starts it all.
After resigning from Waupaca in 2024, Malueg joined the Poynette Police Department, alleging a background check was done prior to him being hired. However, Malueg believes DA Yaskal later changed course, now refusing to prosecute any cases he's handled. He claims this decision led to serious charges, like a felony OWI and a child neglect case involving fentanyl being dismissed. Attorney Michael Levine, a legal expert, confirms he's aware of such impacts.
He specifically said that the state no longer finds their material witness, the former deputy, to be credible or trustworthy. And so my understanding is that had a significant impact on the outcome of that case.
Levine says this situation, while not common, is not out of the ordinary. He says the DA has a right to exercise discretion, emphasizing a judge's ruling could be a moot point.
I don't know if a judge's opinion is going to be able to change a prosecutor's opinion, and they have the discretion in terms of what cases to bring and what cases to prosecute.
With Malueg announcing his candidacy for Waupaca County Sheriff and his integrity questioned, he acknowledges the public's skepticism. Why should I believe you? Why should the public believe you?
Everything that I have brought up is documented. This isn't Officer Justin says this, Officer Justin says that, you should believe him. This is documented. I want people to be able to see that public life side of me because that's where the truth lies. If you don't want to disclose any of this documentation, you don't want to disclose any of this, then how do you get people to believe you?
Action 2 News reached out to DA Yaskal for comment, but she declined, citing the pending lawsuit. Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.